Hello everyone, Pastor Lon here, homesteading pastor, along with my beautiful wife, Robbie Lynn. I want to welcome you to our next Come Sit a Spell this week. I hope everybody's been doing well, and I don't know what kind of weather y'all having in y'all's neck of the woods, but we're having some warm weather here in South Carolina for February. It's 66 degrees today, and what you say it's supposed to be tomorrow? The weekend?
Next Thursday's supposed to be 77. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 71.
71.
And 72 Saturday.
In February. But anyway, ain't nothing we can do about that but deal with it. But
in between that, it's going to be like 50 and 51.
Yeah. So y'all let us know what kind of weather y'all dealing with and wherever you from, whether you're in what state you're in or if you're in another country somewhere. But again, hope everybody's doing well. Leave us some comments below on this topic we're going to talk about tonight. And what I titled this little Come Sit a Spell is the need for wholesome conversations. The need for wholesome conversation. And we looked up, I guess, one of many different definitions in the dictionary that we looked it up in. Is wholesome meaning promoting health or well-being of mind or spirit. And some of the synonyms for wholesome is able-bodied, sound, well, and whole. So with that being said, there's a couple of categories I jotted down, and I want you to give us some feedback on what you think about the need for wholesome conversation. I'll get into what I mean by that in a moment. But wholesome conversations need to take place between husband and wife, between parents and kids, between family members with other family members, whether it's your immediate family or extended family, friends with friends, whether it's in person or social media, which I got that down here at the bottom, co-workers with co-workers. Again, remember the need for wholesome conversations. Even strangers with strangers. I was telling Robbie Lynn before we started this video, you know, when you say strangers, first thing you think about is you don't want your kids messing with talking to no stranger, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like even here on YouTube. We were strangers before we got to know one another like we do on YouTube, whether it's somebody that you just meet here in another state or another country, or the people that you've been blessed or lucky enough to actually meet in person, communicate with text messages or email or just right here on Instagram or anywhere else. But to have wholesome conversation on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube or whatever. So, with all that being said, I just want to kind of lay the foundation, set the stage for what I really wanted to talk about. The conversation I'm getting ready to talk about needs to take place amongst everybody. And that's what's wrong in the culture today. One thing that's wrong is, I wrote down here in red writing so I wouldn't forget it. The problem with the culture today, and especially our young people and elders as well, is the problem is role models have changed. People look to other places now for people that don't have their best interests at heart for advice. And I want somebody that's got my best interest at heart to give me advice. What you looking at?
I'm laughing at that turkey.
Oh, don't worry about it. I hope they can hear those.
He's coming up here looking like, what y'all doing?
Yeah, well, if the camera would do right, we could turn it around and let you see them, but it'd mess everything up. But you can hear them anyway. So, with all that being said, leave us some feedback, some comment about what you think about the need for wholesome conversation, and when's the last time you've had a wholesome conversation within these categories that I named. Go ahead.
A lot of times the kids can't get wholesome conversation from their home because there's nobody there that can give it to them.
True.
Like they said, what was it? Took the pants off. The culture has taken the pants off the man.
Living a Good Life with Grammy Nene. She comments on our channel a lot, and we do her the same. But that's what she said. What's wrong with the culture today? They're taking the mom or the women out of the home and taking the pants off the man. There's a lot of truth to that. Mm-hmm. They don't have anybody at home now to give them that sound advice. We're dependent on the daycare or the school system, public school system. God help them. We won't get into that. That's another video. But what I was going to say is, and it goes along with what she was saying, when I think about wholesome conversations, I think about a conversation of value. It means something. It's got wisdom in it. It's got knowledge incorporated in it. It's got common sense. All that intertwined together. That's what I think about when I hear a wholesome conversation and or have a wholesome conversation. One thing that kind of stimulated my mind to have this conversation or to make this video was, I believe I mentioned it at church last week, but I was watching, Robbie Lynn was watching the Waltons, and I came in and caught a little clip of that where Elizabeth, his little girl, John Walton's little girl in the movie, in the show, was having some problems. I can't remember all the details, but nevertheless,
she had a crush on
the
young minister.
A young minister that had come to town. You're exactly right.
He basically told her, that,
well, of course, she was a child. He was an adult.
But it broke her heart. There was a puppy love,
Right, that's what it was. And he just had to, kind of break that off, so to speak, and it broke her heart. But she ran up to her room mad, and in the show, in the Waltons, John went up, the mama was going to go up there, but John said, let me talk to her. So anyway, he went up there and talked to her, and it's amazing how the parents and the grandparents, how things used to be, could talk to their children or grandchildren or even their own siblings and kind of make them understand things. But now the role models have changed. They look out there to the sports world. They look out to Hollywood. They look out to all these people that don't know them from Adam's house cat. They don't mean a hill of beans to them. But yet they're reaching out to those kinds of people instead of listening to their mom or their dad or the grandparents or even their pastor or somebody that goes to church with them or somebody we meet on here that's good, rooted and grounded and got good common sense. But let me know what you think about what comes to your mind when you think about a wholesome conversation. Like I said, mine is of value and it's got wisdom, knowledge, and common sense all intertwined together.
Yeah, because a lot of times as pastor and his wife, we don't have a lot of people that we can get that from, but there's a couple in mine, another minister and his wife, that if we got like issues we need some wisdom and stuff like that, we know who to call on. There's certain people it's going to give you the best advice.
Right, and we need that feedback just like anybody else does. But not only does it have wisdom and knowledge and common sense and it's of value, but it's got good morals instilled in a good, wholesome conversation.
It's basically somebody that won't steer you the wrong way.
That's right. Somebody, again, got your best interest at heart, going to tell you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear, and you can have confidence, like she said, that they're going to steer you in the right direction. When I think about a wholesome conversation, I think about it being constructive, building up, not destructive by tearing down. In other words, again, it goes back to a value. That is the core of what I think about when I think about a wholesome conversation. You got one another's best interests at heart. It's good sound advice. It's an understanding mindset. Not only do you need to talk to somebody that can give you wisdom and knowledge, but you need to talk to somebody that is willing to listen to you and have an understanding mindset. How many times you ever talk to somebody and say, man, I can't talk to anybody else about this, but you understand me like nobody else. And I've had that, and I got a pastor friend of mine that I can say that, and Robbie Lynn can say the same thing about these two. They mean a lot to us, and we know that we can confide in them, and they always lead us in the right direction. And also with a wholesome conversation comes comfort. You have comfort in that conversation with people like that we're talking about. And we want you to share with us or share here on YouTube some of those conversations that you may have had or you have today, or do you agree with us that the need for wholesome conversation is on high demand, should be on high demand today because of all the immorality and negative stuff that's going on in the world today? I mean, give us your feedback on this topic.
What you talking about? Like makes you feel something being with somebody that's gonna make you feel safe or whatever.
Yeah.
There's times and just
like a
that
safe
you
haven.
can just vent to and stuff like that. And sometimes they'll tell you something that you might not want to know. And I know that couple that we're talking about.
Many times.
He's gonna tell you straight up whether you.
Yep.
Sometimes it ain't what you want to hear, but. And sometimes we'll text each other, say, I need some, they'll say, we need some owl time, and we'll say, we need some hard time.
That's it. You know, we just tell them who it is.
Yeah, so, I mean,
we need some hard time.
That's just something you need. You just need that good.
Reverend Lanny Ard and his wife, Sister Gwen Ard.
Yeah. You just need those people that you can
have
those wholesome conversations.
Had it not been for those two in 2017, wasn't it?
17, 18.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd be today, and her either. But also, because the devil messes with your mind. He tries to drive a wedge all the time, and just because you're pastor's wife don't mean that he don't come after you. Can I get a witness?
Amen. He comes at you harder.
But you know what's amazing about our relationship with the Ards is when I was down here and needed help, God had him up here, and there's been times in his life when he was down here, God had me up here.
Some of the same things.
Went through some of the same things from the attack from the enemy. But because of that friendship, because of that wholesome conversation that we had one with another, and those are the type of people that they can chastise you, or we can chastise them in a good way, and you don't be offended by it because you know they're doing it for your own good, for your own benefit. And I hope you got a friend like that. I hope you got somebody you can confide in.
Yeah, because as far as church matters, there's some people out there, you go to them about church matters, they're going to tell you the wrong thing to destroy your church. But you know that person, he's going to have your best interest and your church's best interest in mind.
Are those people going to, if they don't have the intent to tear your church up?
Not intentionally, but they don't have enough wisdom.
But they're not going to give you, they're going to tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
And they don't have the godly wisdom to tell you. To think about it, some people just spurt it off, but there's some people that just sit there and chew on it a little bit. And
that's the people you won't give it.
And then they're not going to just tell you something right off their head. They're going to think about it and pray about it and, stew on it a little bit.
That's right. That's right.
Give you some good advice.
That's the people you want to be listening to. But
you don't want that fire.
It's not just that, but just like even with finances. Yeah. You know, my daddy told me a long time ago, so one of the number one destructive things about a marriage is finances. That is so true. Money. And he gave us sound advice back then, and we've been in debt just like everybody else, but he would encourage us to not get in over your head. Don't be spending more than you make. And he used to use the analogy that if you got a bucket and you put water in the bucket and it's got a hole in the bottom of the bucket, it's going to continue to run out. You never fill it up. But
if you're taking more out the bucket than you put back in,
it's going to go dry. It's going to run out. So just sound advice like that that'll help someone's marriage. Different people that we have officiated their wedding. I've given them, some of them I've been able to talk to and give them sound advice. Some of them don't want to hear it. But anytime I try to talk to people like that, whether it's a marriage or before they get married, or whether it's just good sound advice in general with a job or a relationship or just life in general, Robin and I try to give them good sound advice and knowing that we're going to not try to steer them wrong for nothing in the world.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people, they know if they come into us, they're going to hear it straight up. Yeah. That's why a lot of people don't want to come to us.
I was going to say, that's why the path is, that's why sometimes
they don't want to come to us because they know we're going to tell them.
Sometimes the path starts growing up with grass because, you heard the beaten path. When you travel down a path, you keep the grass worn off of it, or the grass kilt. Miss Tippin them had a video just come out, kilt the grass. You wear it down. But when you telling people stuff for their own good, I put it like this. People know who to talk to and who not to talk to about their problems. If they're wanting good sound advice, they'll go to certain people. If they want somebody to tickle their ears and to go along with them and uphold what they're doing, they go to somebody else. That's a fact. But I don't care if it's each other, our own kids, your family, doesn't matter. We're going to tell you what needs to be said. We're going to say what needs to be said, and we're going to do it with good intent and love and compassion.
That's the only way to be.
The only way to be. So, y'all share with us. You know, you have anybody you can confide in like that? Are you a type person other people can confide in? Could we have a wholesome conversation with you? We have them here on this channel a lot.
I was going to say we've got some viewers that
we do.
confide
I
in
tell you,
us.
we got a good family here on YouTube. Y'all send us some of the most awesome, the comments you put back on here and advice you've given us through emails, like I said, that you might not want everybody to see what you're talking about, text messages, in person, phone calls. But just like the great Al on here, a lot of times he'll say, "Thank you for bringing us together again." I mean, I love that. We don't do that for a pat on the back, but I thank God that this platform is here for a reason, for us to come together as like-minded people, but also maybe some people that wasn't like-minded had started on this channel, and God has used this platform and used us through this channel to help you become more like-minded, to, you know, whether it's, you know, from one religion to the other, from one, you know, specific culture to another. I think when people find out you're real through and through, they'll confide in you more. I know that's the way I am with people, that you can tell when people are real and people are fake. And you can tell when people are doing what they're doing for the right reason or not.
Can you imagine having all of our viewers right out here on this porch and
You
just
know,
sitting around with a cup of coffee and
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
a piece of homemade bread?
Yep, Robert Lynn's starting to make some homemade bread.
I got
By the way, we got a video coming out about that.
Yeah, I can't quit now. I love to make it.
Yep, and we'll talk more about the bread. And like I said, we got...
Which I've made it before, but I knew we didn't want to eat a lot of bread. We couldn't eat bread, but now this bread is actually good for you.
The bread bakers have turned us on to some bread.
And since we've been eating it, we can tell the difference.
We can. I'm telling you, we can.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the bread.
The proof is in the bread. She told us it would do it, and it's doing it.
Bread bakers, go check out her videos. Sue Becker. I'll try to. We're getting a little better at our leaving a link below.
Well, she does seminars. She has done seminars. I don't know if she still goes around and to them, but I'd love to get her to come to church or something.
That'd be great. She's from where? Georgia?
Georgia.
Ain't that far.
When we go to Corey's wedding, we won't be but like an hour.
Yep.
So I'm going by that store.
We're going to Brasstown to officiate Corey and Austin's wedding
in March.
So we might have to run down to Miss Sue and check her out while we're up there. Won't be like
they
an
got
hour.
the store where you could buy all this different stuff.
Yep. We're gonna try to check them out while we're up that way.
I'm gonna save my bucks.
I've already put a vacation down for that Friday and that Monday.
Me too.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So we have a long weekend that weekend. We go see her.
Bradley and Michaela.
That's right. But speaking of good wholesome conversation, there's a guy I'm gonna pick his brain. Billy, Permapasture Farm. I'm gonna be texting you and see if we can have a conversation. I need some. And he don't claim to be no financial advisor, and I'm gonna talk to a few other people as well.
Well, that's another example. He's somebody that you would trust to tell you to do the
truth.
right thing.
Yeah. But I'm gonna talk to him
he
about
wouldn't steer you the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm talking to him about some financial a situation advice. But that's what I was talking about in the beginning. You know, there's people on YouTube that's gonna give you good sound advice. There's no way in the world you ever make me think that Grammy Nene would lead me the wrong way. No way that Permapastures Farm would lead me the wrong way. No way that Celebrating Appalachia, Miss Tipper, Mr. Matt would lead you the wrong way. And I could go on and on and on about people on YouTube, people on Instagram that would never lead us in the wrong direction. And I hope that they feel the same way about Robin Lynn and I. You know, we're here. What you see is what you get, and we would try to lead you right every single time. And we know we got people in here to lead us the same way. And don't be offended if I didn't mention your channel, mention your name. There's many of you on here. Even some of our subscribers that don't have channels.
Which a lot of ours don't.
They don't. Yep, they don't. Some of them just send us gifts
Donnie,
in the mail.
I cannot remember. I keep forgetting the name of his channel now.
Yeah. Used to be Country Homestead
Preacher.
Prep for Eternity Homestead. Yep.
I can't
He'd
remember.
never lead us wrong.
Right.
And there's many
Little
others.
NC.
Yep. Brother Roland Pennant.
Yeah.
He don't have a channel, but he wouldn't leave me wrong. And like I said, so many of you on here.
Well, mine's drawing a blank.
Yeah, mine too. A lot of you know your first names, but I can't remember your last names right now. But our YouTube channel means the world to us, and we really appreciate all of you so much. And I hope you enjoy these wholesome conversations. You know, so many people comment on here about, we make them reminisce and think about days gone by and things in the past and maybe how to handle things in the future. But you know, I don't know. It's just hard to explain what you try and explain sometime about the people on this channel and in our personal lives that mean so much to us.
They're back.
Yep, turkeys are back. Just like there's several of them on the channel that confide in us that they having problems. I won't mention your name because they're having a lot of family issues and family problems, and they confide in us, and we give them sound advice, and then we hear back that really helped them. That's what it's all about. And you know who you are. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here tonight and talk about, as you can see, we're a little bit early out here tonight. We was able to, this evening, was able to get out here in 66 degrees.
Well, it's getting kind of nippy.
It's getting a little nippy now, but
I don't have any shoes on.
yeah, shoes and
Barefooted.
it's got a short sleeve shirt and no shoes on.
Yep.
But anyway, well, I guess we're gonna end this.
Yeah, because we got to get ready for some wholesome conversation.
Yep, the Ards are coming over tonight, and Robbie Lynn and her
My friend.
her best friend is gonna make us, Brother Art and I, some homemade pizza out of that homemade bread.
Homemade dough.
Well, homemade dough,
We're
whatever.
gonna make pizza out of the dough.
We're gonna sample that here in a little bit. We may do a little video with that.
We'll see.
Yeah. So leave us some comments below about wholesome conversations that you've had in the past that you feel like you could have right now. You feel like you could have a wholesome conversation with us? Do you have other people you feel like you could have a wholesome conversation with? And let us know in the comments below what you think about that. Do you think there's a great need today for good wholesome conversations in the culture? I'll leave it with this, in the husband and wife, within parents and kids, within family with family, friends with friends, co-workers, strangers, like I said, social media, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or any other platform. Just let us know how you feel about that. And I just wish more people would come to people that really care about them for wholesome advice, to have a wholesome conversation, rather than running after that superstar ball player, that TV evangelist just don't have your best interest at heart. Hollywood celebrities that don't care anything about you. And go back to the Walton days and the Little House on the Prairie, where people talk amongst themselves. I guess what it boils down to, trust the people that you really feel like you can trust, that's got your best interests at heart, and have those wholesome conversations, because they're not getting that at school. They're not getting that in a lot of places in their life. Young people as well as middle-aged and elders, they're not getting wholesome advice and having wholesome conversations anymore like they did back in the day. And the proof's in the pudding. Look at the culture today. They're giving them bad advice. Sometimes just because it's something you don't want to hear, don't mean it's something you didn't need to hear. Always remember that. Iron sharpens iron. Whether it's men sharpening iron with other men, whether it's women, whether it's the culture in general, family, your close friends. I want somebody to tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. That's what it all boils down to. So, wholesome conversation is of value. It's got common sense, wisdom and knowledge, and good morals all intertwined in it together. And it'll do you some good if you just listen to it and apply it. Do we have anything else to that?
sums it up. Apply it. You gotta apply it.
Gotta apply it. Not just be a hearer of the word, but a doer as well. And again, there's so many of you on here, other channels that I couldn't think of to mention. So many other subscribers on here that I just didn't think to mention. And we got so many of you, if I keep going and going and going, I have to stay here all night. But I love all of you. We love all of you. We're here to carry on that wholesome conversation. Any way we can help you, please let us know. And until next time, remember, Jesus Christ loves you, and Jesus Christ is the answer for any and everything we dealing with in life. Hope you all have a good rest of the week. May God bless you all.